All right, there I am. Thank you, everybody. Welcome to Night Moves here for Sunday, January 11th. Hi, everyone. I'm Ramon Scott, and well, what a night! At least uh, we had some great action here. What can you say? A deep breath after what we saw with the uh, with the NFL action on Saturday. Just incredible. Just a few hours removed now from that incredible game with the Chicago Bears come back over the Green Bay Packers, and also a great game this afternoon with the Rams defeating Carolina. Carolina getting the money. And hey, thank you for joining me, everybody. With this little technical problem, probably better with no camera with me. Probably should turn it into a radio show, but good to be with you here on Night Moves. Running solo here tonight, previewing the three NFL games for tomorrow. Should be great. Can't be any better. I mean, with all due respect to those on the losing end, not only with your bets, but on the rooting interest as well. A little heartbreak there for some, and jubilation, ecstasy for others, but certainly sports fans. Just incredible games today, but especially that late game with the Bears. Let me say hello to everyone in the chat. Get going here, since I'm putting you behind a little bit with my technical issues. But let me see who's here tonight, and we'll talk a little bit before we get rolling. We got the 3 NFL games. We got a little hefty NBA schedule, a few on the ice as well, and I'll preview the best in college basketball here. And I'll need your help tonight since I'm here alone this evening. But hey, we're not short of games on Sunday, so let's see here. It's JNR was here first saying hello. Ziggy stopping by this morning. And good morning, everyone. Welcome to Night Moves here on the Tony's Picks YouTube channel. Mr. Wesker is also ready to go. Red Wings. He's cheering for the Bears there. I don't know. Is Red Wings cheering for the Bears there? And there's no doubt funny to see the. I guess these coaches not too fond of each other, huh? Lighten up, Francis. LV is here as well. And Timmy Two Shoes ready to go there. And there I am. I'm typing under Tony's name there, but just a little bit of technical issue there. Let's see who else. Mr. Wesker said go with Syracuse today. Man, how about that dunk in the Syracuse game? And let's see who else. LALV talking about some of his winners. There's Mills, right? No rest for the weary, Mills. Man, was that an incredible day, Millsy, today. And let's see here, but was almost ready to go to sleep there in that first half there with the way the Bears were putting it down. Let's talk about the game a little bit, and then we'll get to some of the previews here. But Green Bay, man, they led that game 21-6 after the third quarter. Chicago on those first 6 drives could only muster 6 points. They got some yardage in there, 245 yards. First 6 drives of the game, but they needed those last 4 drives of the game. 30 plays, 210 yards, 25 points, and Chicago picks up their first playoff win since 2011. Look, the Packers were sharp early, and they were clunky late, and they were doing things just not really. I mean, you could point a little bit like LaFleur. I'm not saying he accepts some of the blame, but man, the managing of the timeouts, needing timeouts on defense there late, little bit of a chaotic situation, a cluster almost for the Packers. They were up against it heading into the game, but just did a great job. No one's fretting about the future of Jordan Love and now also of Caleb Williams. Look, I've had to defend Williams a lot on some of the shows that I've been on, talking about his potential. And a lot of guys like to pick on Williams, make fun of him a little bit. No one's making fun now, I don't think, with the performance that he led there. Sometimes the leaders step up, and that's what they're born to do. And sometimes there's guys on the other end too. It was certainly a great game and worthy of all the praise and talk that we're hearing and seeing right now, post game, if you will. Green Bay missed also a 44-yard field goal in that game. They lost a fumble in there late, so they lost 5 in a row to end the season. That's not going to take you to the next round of the playoffs, much less to the Super Bowl. So the Bears advance in the postseason with one of the most memorable games in recent memory, for sure. There last night, talked about some of the players there on the show. With also, we talked about Loveland for the Bears there with his big performance, right? I mean, you guys were trying to talk it up, Komet, and I said, Green Bay number 1 in my mind against tight ends, but it was really the tight end play there. Loveland with 8 receptions in the game, really terrific, and also a great running there from Swift and Monangai as well. So look, Packers had great play. I thought all their receivers stepped up. We even mentioned Matthew Golden last night, and he wasn't really on the radar in this game for a lot of people, but he came through with a spectacular touchdown. Watson in there as well. Packers did well, but man, it did feel like the momentum was shifting and sliding there a little bit towards the end. What a game. We could talk about it for hours, it feels like here right now. But let's see what else in there. A few more comments. Red Wing saying no Lions. Ramon just going with Ben John. It's funny how frosty the handshake was tonight with those two guys, and we already know they kind of don't like to uh, even uh, acknowledge each other. It seems like. What is the deal with those guys? In fact, I would say LaFleur comes out looking a little bit, maybe because they lost. Maybe I'm biased here. Had a couple of premium wins over today on Tony'sPicks.com. I went 2-0. Those picks were the Panthers and the Bears. So, hey, I brought it home tonight, last night here on the site. That's all I did. That's all I played there. Wasn't going to weigh down my NFL picks with any, college ball. Great card, no doubt about it. But I really wanted to stick with the two big plays as my top plays at Tony'sPicks.com. Let's go over to Tony'sPicks.com real quick and take a look at the handicapper leaderboards and see who was hot here on Sunday in the NFL, and fire up that handicapper leaderboard and see who else joined me on the top of the boards. And look at this. You got uh, David Racy up there with a dozen winners here. He probably hit the hoop. I'm thinking they're pretty big. Stephen Duncan, Mr. Hockey here on the site. Big day also, hitting 67% there with 10 winners. Kevin Thomas, a big day. There's Ron Crawford, 3-1. I went up there just 2-0, like I said, for me here on the site. And a couple of winners there for me. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. I got 3 more fired up here for the action on Sunday. I went with all 3 games. Check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Just went 2-0. Let's check it out. There's the results there with the winners there with the Bears and the Packers. Hopefully, I wrote it up that the Bears would come back in the second half. I just said I think that they'll overcome the Bears' dominance through the years. I did note the Packers' injuries there coming into the game, and they were affected in a few critical areas, I think. In the game eventually. Also took Carolina here. I mentioned here on the show last night the Rams. Hey, the Rams got the win. Let's face it. I mean, they're still they got it done. It wasn't easy, but I did note last night, and I put it here in my write-up, that underdogs of more than 4 points are 6-0. The last 6 times that's occurred. Underdogs of more than 4 points in the NFL. Home underdogs, I should have stated. I think I actually have it wrong here, but home underdogs of more than 4 points are now 7-0 in the last 7 tries in the NFL playoffs, and 15-2, now 16-2 in the last 18 times they're underdogs of more than 4 points. They're at home. So it only happens actually once every 2 or 3 years. You'd think it would happen more, but think about it. I mean, your home team is always going to be the higher seed in the playoffs. They're usually favored. Once in a while, you get a road favorite. In fact, we've seen a few here, right? But they're just really just a point or two favorites, really on the road. So it just doesn't happen where you get a road favorite here. This was almost unprecedented with this Rams spread today. Let me talk about the Rams game here real quick to kind of keep my equipment fired up here. Good to have you guys here. So let me tell you about, go over to Tony'sPicks.com, use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15% off all premium pick packages, including mine here on Sunday. We'll bottle that down into a 3-pack and put it reissue it on the site. So please consider checking out my plays over at Tony'sPicks.com after my 2-0 day here on Saturday. We'll try to outdo the performance of the games there on Saturday. All right, I'm going to briefly cover also here the remaining action on Saturday with the Rams and the Panthers as Hall of Famer Stafford throws the 19-yard touchdown pass with 38 seconds left for the win. The Rams led 14-0 early with those impressive drives. The Panthers went for it on fourth down like they always do. A little bit of a gamble. It's one thing to do in the regular season, to do it in the playoffs, and give the team like the Rams. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't matter between the Rams and between a 45-yard field and a 80-yard field or a 90-yard field with them. They're able to go down and make a quick touchdown. Stafford, 300 yards, 3 touchdowns. Puka Nacua, he is the man. This guy, how is he not killed out there every week? This guy's got no fear. 10 receptions, 111 yards. There, he was heading for one of the best first half performances in NFL history if he didn't drop that obvious play that would have been a touchdown pass. But Carolina converted, on 27 of 40 fourth down plays during the season. In this game, they were 0 for 3 in those plays, but the Panthers came back to lead 31 to 27 after a 30-yard touchdown drive after that block punt, and they swung the momentum back to their way. We mentioned also last night there on the show talking about the Panthers and their receiving core, and we mentioned Coker there extensively here on the show last night, and talked about how I thought he had kind of surpassed Leggett as the number 2 receiver, and that he could have another game similar to the performance that he had the previous week against Tampa Bay. No, he totally exceeded that performance with the 9 receptions for Jalen Coker, a really emerging player here in the postseason. They're out, but really Coker increased his stock big time there today, and we talked about him extensively there last night when we talked about some of the personnel. So Rams did outgain Carolina by about 75 yards. They were only 3 of 13 on third down. The Rams defense the Panthers defense, pretty credible job there, and Rams go on to win. Rams are 25-25 all time in the NFL playoffs, and they'll move on with the win. But the Panthers got the cover. All right, let me keep moving here, though. We got to really get the previews started. But man, what a day of games there, and what a great day of college basketball as well. We saw some big results on the college scene. Nebraska, what a comeback against Indiana. They trailed by 16 in the second half and were nailing those 3-pointers, and the Huskers moved to 16-0. Michigan goes down despite their star playing in the game. He was a little bit questionable, but Wisconsin, they were really nailing the 3-pointer, 15 of 33 from 3-point range. Michigan led by 14 early, but Wisconsin gets the win. They played a tough schedule this year, Wisconsin. Watch out for them. They'll be pretty good here. Later action, Texas beat Alabama 92-88, but there were other upsets. That was an upset there. I mean, Texas was a 12-point dog or so. Illinois Chicago upset Illinois State. Central Michigan upset Kent. Dartmouth upset Cornell. Princeton upset Yale. Evansville upset Indiana State. Lots of upsets today in college basketball. And some other big games too. Auburn beating Arkansas 95-73. Texas A&M knocked off Oklahoma 83-76. Florida rocked Tennessee. DeAndre gave us that winner here yesterday as well. So also West Virginia, how about that, knocking off Kansas there yesterday. All right, let me see who else is here now that I was getting a little flustered with my equipment there. So sorry for the delay and just catching my breath here. I was a little bit flustered. Okay, let's see who else is here. We'll start the preview of the football games. There's personal account as well in there. Bruins, Bears there. And Mr. Westworth, no, not a big fan of Caleb. Dobbs had a good game, says Timmy in there. All right. Jermaine is here today as well. And this is the Rams almost shocked the world with bad coaching. No way you played prevent defense. You see, the Rams didn't do that. I think that's what Jermaine is saying there. He meant okay, Panthers. I was trying. Yeah, I got you. I got you. I was like, wait a minute, what are we saying here? Okay, let's go ahead and start the previews here, shall we? Everybody's in here, and I've kept us long enough with my technical issues. We want to talk NFL football here for a Sunday. Get rolling here. Yeah, thank you. Thank you also, yeah, for salutations there. We did nail some of those totals yesterday in the NBA, including Miami and Indiana game under here, Clippers and Detroit game under. We had Spurs and Celtics under. We had the Hornets and the Jazz over last night. DeAndre brought us home some great winners in there as well. On the show. He gave us Indiana plus the points there yesterday. Also gave us the Chicago Bulls in there as well. So, all right, let's get going. Nobody wants to harp about yesterday. We got to preview these games here for today. 3-game card, of course, and we'll start off with the early action here in the AFC. We're going to head down to Florida. Take a look at this first one between the Buffalo Bills and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The Jaguars favored here by 1.5 total, 50.5. The Bills opened a favorite in this game by a point or two, about a point and a half, I guess would be fair to say. And look, they're the team that has the experience here. They're in the playoffs for the 7th year in a row. Just the Bills haven't fared very well on the road recently. They have won on the road in the playoffs before, just not in the Allen era. They've had playoff win. We remember some of the playoff road wins. I think they're, I want to say 4-15 in the playoffs all time on the road, straight up. Buffalo's lost their last 8 road playoff games now, so it's not just the Allen era. Certainly there are some. I think it's 6 road losses in the Allen era, but their last road playoff win, 1992. Remember that year? The Bills have won 5 of their last 5 of 6 and 8 of their last 11 playoff games, but they've been so good. They've had a lot of home success, and that's how the Buffalo Bills have done it. Now it's not like they'll be unlike some of the warm weather teams that might go up and take on the Bills. Like if it was the other way around, no one is disappointed. If it was when you're traveling down to Florida to play the game here, like Josh Allen will enjoy. But, for Trevor Lawrence here, and yeah, I mean, he's going to still have his critics until he, wins a big one, wins a good one, if you will, wins a big game here. This is the big game, but hey, they're still favored to win this game still if you're Trevor Lawrence and the Jacksonville Jaguars. But nonetheless, going to have to rely on that running game of ATN. His poor brothers, man, dropped that ball, and they were kind of making fun of him there in the game last night. Don't even touch the ball. But this is where the Jacksonville Jaguars, we want to, put a lot of emphasis on Trevor Lawrence and his ability to perform in this matchup. It's not an easy matchup, really, but if they can get the running game going, which I think they could with ATN and Tootin, because, I think the Bills are probably in the bottom 10 of rushing defense. I think this will be the strong point of Jacksonville here if ATN and Tootin can get moving in this game and open it up a little bit for Jacksonville's passing game. Because, look, between Brian Thomas Jr. and Jacoby Myers in there and Washington as well, my man Tim Patrick, maybe he can find a reception or two in this game even. Buffalo is pretty good. I want to say, I'd almost say underrated pass defense wise. They get a lot of criticism, but for Jacksonville's defense, they have a really good run defense, probably top 5 in the league. And that's what a lot of people have been focusing on because you want to have Cook to have success. Also, Ty Johnson, what's his status here now? We'll look at real quick. I mean, he's been questionable here this week. It would be important to have him. He's still going to be questionable with that ankle injury coming in. So Palmer is out of this game. That's some of the issues for Buffalo here, offensively. You think about this, wide receiver core. I'm not going to downplay Allen's receivers here, but boy, it would feel a little better if you had, a little more stability right now. We saw the issues that Stephon Diggs had on off the field right now, a little bit hanging over his head, and between Khalil Shakir and Cooks and Shavers, it just doesn't feel like a playoff tested receiver core. I definitely would favor the Jaguars receivers over the Bills receivers. It feels like in this one, although Jacksonville not so great against tight ends, and when you've got Kincaid and Knox, and Kincaid, he's definitely been on the injury report here this week, but he's probable here. And good news, Joey Bosa probable as well. So some good news there, really, with the injury report. I think with Buffalo, and hey, what we saw today. I mean, it could be, an either way type of game. It feels like here. So let me see if you guys want to start to comment. We can get the comments going, but I still want to talk a little bit more preview of this game right now. The Bills, on the road this season, they weren't terrific against the spread. They usually were favored on the, they were favored in, let's see, eight road games this year. I want to say with their, I don't want to call it a weak schedule at all, but obviously some of the opponents that they played in that division this year between the Jets and the Dolphins here, they ended up 4-4 against the spread on the road this season, but they're underdogs right now. They were 2-0 against the spread as a dog, but Jacksonville 7-1 against the spread as a favorite, just 5-4 against the spread as an underdog. Now, I don't know. This game is rated so closely. You might just say, "Hey, Jacksonville, 7-1 at home this season. Buffalo was 5-3 straight up." This year, Buffalo's gone over in 4 of their last 5 games overall, and since 2020 or out of the pandemic, I think a little bit, or maybe even that pandemic season in there, the Bills are 0-4 in the playoffs against the Kansas City Chiefs, 7-1 against everybody else. And this is a Jacksonville team, obviously, without a lot of, experience, if you will. But when you've won 8 straight games and you're averaging 33.5 points a game, look, Jacksonville had a lot of hope and expectation coming in. They've been a team that's certainly disappointed, but right now they're at their peak. In fact, you could argue if it, you could look at the schedule, say there's some flaws there, but you could argue that Jacksonville's playing better than anybody in the league here right now with their offense too. Yeah, you know what? Patriots and Denver on the AFC side, and what we've seen now here on the NFC side, still with the Eagles, now the Bears, maybe even the Niners a little bit in there in that big game we'll talk about with the Eagles and the Niners. Still, Jacksonville, what can you say? 33.5 points a game heading into the playoffs, and eight 8 straight wins. That's pretty awesome, no doubt about it. So, look, Liam Cohen making his coaching debut. Trevor Lawrence has a playoff win. We know that. So, while he might be a sub 500 quarterback, he's obviously at kind of the peak of his career right now. Yeah, maybe he's been a disappointment or an underachiever, but when you're talking about professional NFL quarterback, there are, a lot of people in this world, and only about 10 or 15 people that can play the position at least, an average or above average. It's very difficult to do. And Lawrence is kind of stood the test here a little bit after we see some of these young quarterbacks get kicked to the curb. They stuck with him, and he's obviously having a little bit of a moment here right now. I see some of the comments there, that you've got to prove it still for Trevor Lawrence, but they did go 21-15 are the Jaguars, the last 36 games against the spread, coming in off of a win. They've been forcing turnovers here pretty good as well. Jacksonville in their history have gone 4-1 in the playoffs at home. Now, the last 4 years, the number 3 seed in the AFC versus the number 6 seed in this round, 4-0 straight up and 3-1 against the spread. These teams have split their last 8 meetings overall. Last year, the Jaguars lost at Buffalo 47-10 in a Monday night game. 3 of the last 4 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Let me hear from you in the chat, and then I'll make my pick here in this one with the Bills and the Jaguars here on Sunday. It's going to be, I'll let you know right now. I mean, I've got 3 sides on the premium pick side, so you're going to get my totals here in this one. But let me hear from you in the chat. I'll be giving out my play on the total in all 3 games here, just as if we had DeAndre kind of. But my premium plays are all on the sides here after going 2-0 on Saturday. Let's go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one between the Bills and the Jaguars here on Sunday in the NFL playoffs. Man, can they top yesterday? You never. The thing about it is, dramatic as these games are, you never know what you're going to see out there. Jermaine's going to go both quarterbacks to throw a pick in this one, and it's funny because you see sometimes the pick isn't always the fault of the quarterback there a little bit, right?
Major line,
but we did see the picks there on Sunday a little bit. Let me see what else. See if I can find the plays here real quick. Sorry about that. Ziggy is going to lean to the under here in this one. Big total, right? Big number here with Buffalo and Jacksonville. But hey, it's going to be nice conditions here. Allen and ATN, anytime touchdown for LALV. And how about Timmy? He likes strange, and I like it. There, I will say, a pun or cameo song unintended. Buffalo pretty good against tight ends here. I've got them just outside the top 5 in defending against tight ends, but Brenton Strange has evolved into a good target here in the league. Okay, let's see here. Any more comments? Timmy says, I'm not going against Josh Allen. It does feel like he's going to have a lot on his shoulders. Hello to Aaron Montez in the chat today. Thank you for your nice comment, Aaron. And thank you for being in here tonight. Also, let's see. Jermaine says he doesn't think the Bills are that good. Look, I just think, this season, I just feel like they're missing a few, key offensive players that they maybe should try to. You've got Josh Allen, man. Don't miss this opportunity here right now. Please make sure you've got capable players with him right now. And to me, it feels like they just doesn't have enough supporting him on offense. Cook, of course, very, very good, no doubt. But I'm talking about in the receiving core right now. I feel like they should have just a little bit more, and they just don't feel like they have the. I don't know. I almost said a breakaway receiver. We waited for Shakir maybe here to kind of develop or involve themselves in the game a little bit more. Sometimes the Buffalo receivers kind of disappear. LALB Jags team total over. Hello to Cal Dog in the chat tonight. He likes the Bills here in this one. And let's see here. People are waiting to see. Jermaine says these guys are so hot. They're winning and covering at a breakneck pace right now. They've covered 8 of their last 10, I believe, here right now. See if we have the other trends here. Maybe we can take a look at. I think we covered a lot of them, though, there. Andre says Bills money line, lean to the under. He's got a bunch of TDs. Oh, he's got Cook for a TD and over receiving yards. Allen with a TD. Thank you to Andre. Mr. Weskers, Jags might have the better team. And, it's a thing. I'm not saying the Bills, backed in or anything. I mean, they were going to be in here, it feels like, all the way. But I don't know. Next year is going to be such a special season for the Bills in their new stadium. But it would be nice to open it as a champion. See what else here. A little bit of revenge for last year's game there. I think that might be it from you guys in the chat in this game. Personal accounts here, liking the Jags. LALB likes to cook anytime TD. Timmy says, beautiful. If it's 60 degrees, that's a beautiful day. Oh my gosh. If it's in the 60s here, I think that's a fact. What Timmy Tusha is saying there. I'm showing the weather forecast here, the AccuWeather forecast. Mid 60s here. Wow. Mr. Western, thank you for such a great stat there. Liam Cohen became the first head coach, he says, to win 12 plus games. It was noticeable right away, too. And we talked about it on a lot of the shows about the dramatic improvement actually with Cohen in here, kind of shoring this thing up. LALB liking the over in this one at 52 here. So, man, could we really see that explosive of a game? I got to take the under. I just went 0-2 here on the show last night, taking the unders in those two games, but I'm going to take the under here. It's a big total, 50.5. And look, it's actually gone down from 51.5 or 52. That's in fact, if anything, it's given me a little bit of pause. It's only a one or 2 point drop. And yeah, the move is on the under here. So also I saw Prater. Let me see what his status is. Questionable here for the Bills. I would think that Prater will be able to make this game. They haven't talked about it too much, but we saw kickers. It's an issue. We saw some doinks today. We saw the miss in the Packers and the Bears game as well. So look, if anything, with that weather, right, it does allow for that over a little bit. And that's what LALB says in there. It makes it a little bit easier. So all right, really appreciate it, you guys. I guess can't go much further. You guys have made some nice comments in there. We've covered pretty much the heavy-duty trends here. You talked about with Jacksonville 8-0, straight up and against the spread in those 8 games. 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Jacksonville's gone over in 4 of their last 5, although 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams in Jacksonville have gone under. The Bills have gone over in 4 of their last 5 games. I'm going to have to sneak this one in on the under, but if we get some fireworks like last night, I mean, that, there's no doubt that's why those games went over, because of the quality of play of the quarterbacks. I mean, even Bryce Young, right? I think you got to give your tip your hat to Bryce a little bit and say that even in defeat, I mean, he, maybe he's had some better overall games or more games where he was the hero and they won the game, but got to give Young a lot of credit here for him to step up like he did in today's game. It felt like a career moment in a way, even though they lost, because of he's been a little maligned for sure. All right. And thanks a lot, you guys. Good comments there in the chat. I guess I'll move to the next one here right now, and I'm going to take the under in this one. But again, check me out over at Tony's Picks for my side. Here we go. Let's go to the afternoon contest here right now at 4:30 Eastern, 1:30 Pacific with feels like a blockbuster tilt for sure. Hey, no disrespect. Can you believe the Bears and the Packers were only playing their 3rd playoff game against one another ever? Isn't that just wild to think about? Those historical franchises like that. All right, let's talk about this one. Talk about some great franchises here. The Eagles favored here by 6 now. 6. It keeps going up. So momentum, betting momentum, if you will, with the Philadelphia Eagles here, a 6-point favorite now against the San Francisco 49ers. Yep, the Niners come in stumbling into the postseason with their injuries, if you will. They're beat up. They're beat up on defense. This might be what's holding this 49ers team back. They had a lot of momentum. It looked like for a while there, and I talked about it on this show and some other shows. I put in a futures bet on the 49ers at 15-1 several weeks ago now, because it looked like to me they were on target to play every game at home, and they Well, you know what happened? They ended up blowing the one game that they needed to win in order to get that comfort, if you will. I mean, that just would have been all the way through the Super Bowl. They could have played. Now you got to go on and play one of the toughest teams, the defending champs, and that's going to be uh, very, very difficult. It feels like here coming in, but this is the playoffs, man. I mean, come on, 6 points. The Niners are still, to me, a championship caliber franchise here. I mean, they've been a terrific spread team on the road this season, 7-2, although just 2-4 against the spread as an underdog this season for the 49ers. The Eagles come in 10-7 against the spread, 8-7 against the spread as a favorite, 4-4 against the spread overall. These two teams have not met since 2023. They met in a December matchup, and the 49ers crushed them. Remember, 42-19 here in Philly. They also met the previous season in the 2023 season, remember, in the postseason, and Philadelphia smacked them down, of course, in that big game, 31-7. I want to hear from you in the chat as we preview this one between the 49ers and the Eagles here on Sunday afternoon. The last 6 times the 49ers are in the playoffs, they've had some good runs for sure over those years. We've seen, overall success with this franchise through the years. But right now, the Eagles come in here, of course, as the champs. The Eagles are in the playoffs for the 5th year in a row and the 8th time in 9 years. And 49ers here had their problems mostly on defense right now. They've had major injuries on defense. In the last 2 games, they've allowed 800 total yards. So, like I said, they've struggled as an underdog this year. So maybe I could see why the betting momentum. But in a playoff game, I just feel like you've got to have a little bit more respect. I mean, look what we just saw today with a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars. Sure, they were at home, but they were a double-digit underdog in that game there. And even the Packers, they were on the road. They were leading and dominating in that game. And this is a great franchise, the San Francisco 49ers. Niners have gone over in 6 of their last 9 games overall, and they're forcing turnovers too, +7 in turnovers the last 5 games overall combined, if you will. For Philadelphia and Hurts and Sirianni's 6-3 in the postseason. And Philly, they've been on an under run here a little bit. 7 of their last 9 have gone under. The last 8 years in this game, the underdog, this is in the 3-6 NFC game here, similar to the Buffalo Jacks on the other side, the 3-6 seed game. The underdog in this game is 7-1, straight up 0-8 against the spread. So for 8 consecutive years, when the 3 has met the 6, the underdog has covered every time and won 7 of them here right now. Although, we should note, San Francisco just 3-4 straight up and against the spread in their last 7 visits here into Philly. I mentioned a couple of them there. The under has come in 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams overall. So let me hear from you in the chat in this one with San Francisco and Philadelphia here. See what you guys have. And this one feels like another great game, man. This is going to be absolutely terrific. And going to the chat. Here we go. Thanks, everybody. All right. Let me find it here. Ziggy starts us off, I think, here. He says the Eagles against the spread. And Mr. West doesn't like fading Shan, right? I mean, the reason why, this is feels like an overall factor for considering the points with Shanahan, right? I don't know. Might have the best coach. Everyone's going to stick up for their coach. I'm a Chargers fan. Related to my team and my coach. I don't know if Harbaugh is the best coach. I don't even know if he's the best Harbaugh coach here at this point. Andre, 49ers on the money line here in this one. LALB liking the under here with these two. And let's see, Trent Williams expected to play. Now he is really giving it a go here. I hope he is ready to go and hope he's healthy. I mean, it feels like a game where if the Niners let it slip and you see Trent Williams, struggling here with his injuries a little bit, it feels like he's kind of maybe if it was a regular season game, I feels like from the way they've talked about it anyway, and when I listen to the injuries, I usually listen to Dr. Chow. I mean, I know that seems kind of square, but he does break it down and kind of lets you decide too a little bit. He explains it, and it just seems like Williams would not be playing if this were a regular season game. But he is one of those players, like Andre says, very, very important player. So Timmy says he hopes the injuries doesn't kill him there. Look, my man, Fred Warner, I mean, he's out right now. We talked about the other guys as well, with Nick Bosa being out here and other defensive players as well. So now Pearsall questionable. Sounds like he's going to be able to make the lineup. However, Winters questionable, the linebacker in there. See what else here from you guys. And Mr. Wesker says, could this be it, for the Eagles, or win or lose in this game, or losing in the future? I guess if they win it all, they won't break it up, but just feels a little dysfunctional too. The Eagles offense, I don't know. I think there's been a lot of criticism of the offense. Still seems like they're okay. I think they were in some, I don't want to say tough matchups this year. The schedule wasn't the toughest there, especially as how the division kind of shook out. LALV says if it's freezing temperatures, he's going to go with the Eagles. I think it's a relatively modestly nice day there in the low 40s here with doesn't seem like any chance of precipitation. So just almost like 42 degrees, not perfect football weather, but football players are not going to mind 42 degrees, I don't think. It's almost other than, the other game in the 60s. Here's Cal Dog on the Eagles, the Red Wings on Philly here. And how about CMC? Let me get into my personnel ratings here a little bit and see what I think of this game. And let's see, could A.J. Brown get a touchdown here? Look, Philly, I think they're pretty good in their pass defense, actually. And I think they're good at pressuring Purdy. I think that's where the Niners will be pressed up against it a little bit. Purdy feeling the heat. He's got to get it to Jennings. Hopefully Pearsall's in there, but we've also seen Robinson and Bourne. I think the Niners have receiver depth. I just don't think they have the spectacular receiver like they had with a guy like, Ayuk or when Debo was there. I don't think they have that guy right now. I don't put Jennings in that category, although he's been pretty good. But I think the Eagles, it kind of neutralizes a little bit. Jennings was not great in that game against Seattle last week, but I guess none of the Niners really were. But he had been performing well and then kind of tailed off here right now. A lot of pressure on that number one, especially if Pearsall isn't able to make the lineup. The thing with Pearsall, he's got, I think, 2 injuries in there. He's got a knee and ankle. So still questionable to come in here, and we shall see. But, he missed a lot of practice this week. So I think he can make it, but listening to Dr. Chow, he kind of thought it was on the wrong side of making it. So not to say I agree with Dr. Chow every time, but I should. Jamarcus Robinson, meanwhile, continues to kind of outperform his props there a little bit, and he needs to kind of step up here. And I think if his playing time does go up, you might see more production, of course, from Jamarcus Robinson. We'll see if Kendrick Bourne can be the wild card here, because there are games when he, doesn't show up at all. But we know he has the ability to make a big play in there. So, look, the Eagles are also a top defense, one of the top two or three at defending tight ends, and we know that that is the Eagles' specialty. With Kittle in there this week, Tonjes, his numbers are way down. I mean, you almost have to look at Tonjes on the props, even though Kittle was back in there last week. Didn't have a great game there against Seattle after missing the game against the Bears, but Tonjes stepped up so big time. Why wouldn't this guy get involved a little bit for Purdy there? I mean, his numbers, his prop numbers to me look just very, very low, like they're not even expecting more than a couple of targets for Tonjes, and that's probably the case. But, he's come through so big time when Kittle isn't in there. Why wouldn't you try to target this guy a couple of times in this big game, other than the fact that the Eagles are staunch when defending tight ends? On the other side, you've got 49ers because of their struggling defense. This is a real problem. To me, the man to look at in the props in this game is Dallas Goedert. I think Dallas Goedert can have that monster game. Probably somewhere close to double-digit receptions. Man, I want to take over with Goddard here for sure in this game. I mean, he to me, he is the man to look at on the prop scene here today. In fact, I might even just make that my play to go over with Dallas Goedert in his receptions and yards. I think he is my top offensive option in this game. Let's see here. I'm still going through your picks here. Eagles win, but they may not cover. How about CMC and Goddard for anytime touchdowns there? Also, and let's see, Mr. Weskers saying, Jalen to throw that ball. All right. Hey, Sonny Schlockfield, nice to see you. Oh, Sonny. The Packers, it did feel like a choke there a little bit, but it wasn't an easy game. And, I guess once the momentum started, going away from them a little bit, I'm not going to make excuses for you on it, Sonny. I don't want to make you feel more mad than you already are the way the Packers went down there. Andre's on the under here. And maybe it'd be nice if I talked about the Eagles receivers a little bit. I'm pretty neutral on the matchup here, actually, and I've been neutral on these guys all year. But at least they've started to include Dotson a little bit more here. It just feels like almost a forgotten man right now. I mean, he did have the big game last week against Washington with the 3 receptions for 70. I think it was 40 yards, which wasn't as big as I thought. But between Brown and Smith, here in this one, I've got it as a pretty neutral matchup, especially with the Niners kind of, right in the middle, really in pass defense right now, given their injuries and everything. LALB will take the points here. And let's see here. Mr. Weskers doesn't even know who Dr. Chow is. Oh, no, Mr. Weskers. Yeah, he has a website where he analyzes all the injuries. Actually, I mean, it's like an injury-specific website. I mean, I know there are other injury reports, but if you go to Dr. Chow's website, I mean, that's pretty extensive. That's where I like to look at the injury coverage. LALB says Niners plus points under. He's got 3 anytime touchdowns in there. He's got the under, but he's got 18 points there between Allen, CMC, but someone's got to score touchdowns. Timmy says Kittle will be blocking. Yeah, hey, hopefully he will. We know he's good at blocking. All right. Let's see here. That might be it from you guys. And Sonny says, I think he's giving us his winners right here. Jacksonville, Niners, and Pats. Thank you, Sonny. Appreciate that. And Timmy says, will Purdy have one of those inexplicable interceptions? Mac Jones played so well when he was in there for Purdy. And then when Purdy came back, we were like, okay, maybe because the talk was, hey, let's Mac Jones doing pretty well, and I think people had a little bit suspect of Purdy here, but once he got back in there, we were like, you know what, Purdy is probably just a little bit better than Jones, but hey, pretty good 1-2 combo. I got the over in this game between the 49ers and the Eagles. Um, Look, I think 44.5 here, just a tad low for these two offenses right now, given the situation. Like I said, I think the 49ers injury woes here are definitely apparent. I think the Purdy and McCaffrey. Don't forget, I'm neutral on McCaffrey. By the way, I think his numbers came in high, but he can excel here. I think the Eagles are kind of right in the middle when defending against running backs. So, but Brian Robinson Jr., I think his numbers came in pretty low on those props. I think Robinson might be a guy to look at here actually, and of course Kyle Juszczyk. Um, he always finds his way. He always ends up getting a target or two as well. Not only, in fact, more seems like more so in the passing game a little bit. Juszczyk was so busy in that game against Chicago with that touchdown he had. But all right, Mr. Westers does like Mac Jones better than Purdy here. I'll take the over as my play. We don't want to go too long on these, but I just love these games and talking uh, NFL football with you guys. So we'll get ready to move on here into the next one. 5 of the last 6 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Philly's gone under in 7 of their last 9, but the Niners have had some overs here of late, and I will take the over here in this one. Niners 6-3 to the over on the road. All right. And yeah, hey, Ramon, maybe you want to mention Saquon there, says Timmy in this one. And, I actually think that prop wise, even though I think the production of Saquon and CMC, I'd almost rate them equally. But I think if you look at the numbers a little bit and maybe the game flow or game script, maybe this is something you wait and look at live. But I think that Barkley's prices were a little bit more palatable to me in the prop market. All right, that's it. Let's move on to the next one. Deep breath as my Chargers go into action here against the Patriots. And it's been a good season for the Chargers, man. A real pleasant surprise. Although I've been a Harbaugh from day one. I said that Harbaugh would be able to turn this franchise into a winner. I know he gets a lot of criticism from folks, and yeah, he's a little aloof, but you know what? So am I. And no doubt, controversies aside at Michigan over his time here now with the Chargers, obviously put them in position here. Yeah, it's tough to go on the road, especially against this New England team that's looked so good, but they're still, it's the Chargers that come in here with the playoff experience, albeit a losing one last year against the Houston Texans when they really got bombed, but they're in the playoffs for the 3rd time in 4 years. Herbert's been to the playoffs, but the Patriots have not. I mean, we could talk about the greatness of the Patriots franchise, but this is the first time they've been in the playoffs in 4 years, and they've got their, playoff rookie, if you will, in Drake May, 17-12 as an NFL starter, and Herbert has only been a starter for 2 playoff games with the Chargers in there. He's 0-2. Jim Harbaugh, of course, has been to the playoffs before. Remember, he's been to the Super Bowl before. Harbaugh 5-4 in his coaching career. So for the Patriots here, 13-1 straight up, 11-3 against the spread. Their last 14 games coming in, they were 8-3 against the spread as a favorite this year. New England 5-2 against the spread. Their last 7 games as a home favorite. Patriots have gone over in 9 of their last 11 games. Patriots' last 5 games have gone over the total. Chargers, meanwhile, have gone under in 6 of their last 8 games. Chargers are 8-4 against the spread. Their last 12 coming off of a loss, and they were 4-1 as underdogs this season against the spread. So, look, I have a lot of hope for my Chargers. I'm nervous about this game. Going on the road, this team has always had some problems in the playoffs, although in team history, some of their biggest playoff wins have actually come on the road. I can remember if you're a Charger fan like me, the Chargers were poised to beat the Patriots in a big playoff game many years ago, and near the end of the game, the Chargers ended up intercepting Tom Brady on really what was amounting to a last minute drive anyway. Uh, Chargers intercepted the ball, and then Troy Brown stripped the ball back as it was being run back. It was not a run back to the end zone, but the guy was running back the interception. Troy Brown stripped it. Patriots got the ball back on a change of possession, went down, scored a touchdown, and game went to overtime. And the Patriots beat the Chargers to knock them out of the uh, uh, championship game there. So uh, looking to avenge that a little bit. Chargers haven't played a home playoff game in uh, back many years right now, so they'll have to do this one on the road. Chargers are 3-6 straight up in their last 9 playoff games overall. Let's get ready to hear from you in the chat as my Chargers go in to take on a foe that's always given them trouble. The Chargers are 2-7 against the spread in their last 9 games against the New England Patriots. Patriots have gone over in 6 of their last 7 games at home and 5 straight overall coming into this one. You know, Herbert it was kind of widely regarded as a gunslinger here, but through the years, I don't know. I'm not calling. He's been hurt this year. He's got that broken hand, obviously, here, and got the week off last week. So maybe it'll finally stop bothering him a little bit. We kind of saw Stafford today, kind of, with a hand injury too, that may have affected him there after a while. He's throwing many in. What they say is the biggest string of incompletions in his career today. Was that right? I mean, as good as he's been. So for the Chargers, their problem has been the injuries right now, especially on the offensive line, and that's why Herbert has been getting killed back there. It seems like this is a guy, if you could protect him, he'd be one of the best quarterbacks in the game. He's already one of the better quarterbacks in the game. And, you just see him get sacked so many times. I wish he could be a little bit more decisive on getting rid of the ball, a la Phillip Rivers, who knows how to get rid of that ball a little bit. But Herbert could use a little bit of a lesson in trying to, throw at the receiver's feet, kind of, if you will. So let me hear from you guys in the chat. I'm showing this one at 3.5 and 45.5, maybe 46 here at a few spots. Coming into this one, I'm going to start flipping through some of your comments here and see what you think tonight in the night game too here. So let's see. Hopefully, with the weather conditions tonight in New England, we're showing it right now at 32 degrees. So that's not Charger weather. But no precipitation. So freezing temperature, but right on the edge, 32 degrees. That's 0 Celsius. All right. Let's see what we got here in the chat. Thank you guys for joining me here. We got some more previews to do, but we're talking football after an incredible day today, aren't we? All right. Well, Mr. West says draft an O-line, but, their O-line has been beat up. They did draft O-line. They drafted probably one of the best O-linemen. He's just been out right now pretty much most of the season here. Hey, you're not one of the best if you're out, right? That's the key. But there's no doubt they have their own version of Trent Williams in Joe Alt. And the fact that he has been out here for the season right now with that broken torn ligaments in his, whatever it was, his ankle here, but also Rashawn Slater, another top offensive lineman, has been out this season. So this has been the Chargers' problem with keeping Herbert. They're basically their 2 best linemen have been out this season. He's been getting crushed. That's just the way it's been going down right now, and that's what's hurt the Chargers, and it's going to continue to hurt them here too. For the Patriots, Kayshawn Shake Your Booty is questionable with a hamstring injury. Got Mac Hollins out. He's been key for the Patriots, no doubt about it, but he's been out here for a couple of weeks heading into this one. For the Chargers here also, Omarion Hampton, another guy who they brought in to be a number one running back this season. He pretty much has been out about half the year. He missed last week's game with Denver. Against Houston, he was terrific with 8 receptions out of the backfield, 14 carries. Promise you, this guy is a dynamic player. He just hasn't really gotten the opportunity to prove it, but he's had big games already this season. Had a game earlier this season against the Giants. He had 128 yards rushing, 5 receptions for 37 yards, and also had a big game against Denver earlier in the season, but he missed in the middle of the season 7 consecutive games. He's a rookie from North Carolina. He is expected to play in this game, but how effective he'll be with that ankle injury is because he's starting to trend towards, available. Looks like he will be in this game, but the injury seems significant enough that it may hamper him. And as far as Kimani Vidal, he's had his moments here this season for sure, but I don't think he is quite the back that Omarion Hampton is. As far as the Patriots are concerned in their running game, I've got the Chargers as number one right now in rush defense, and that's what they're going to have to hang their hat on here, is their defense. Because we saw Stevenson have the big game there last week with 131 yards rushing and a couple of receptions and, of course, 3 touchdowns in that huge game against Miami. Ramondre Stevenson kind of, was having an okay season. He had a little bit of turnoveritis a little bit, or the dropsies too. But over the last 3 games, he has been one of the hottest players in the league, and his stock is going up, up, up heading into this game. It's just that he'll be facing a very good Chargers defense that I rate number 1 against opposing running backs. And it's funny because you think of Travion Henderson. To me, when Stevenson went down, Henderson, who may have already been passing him up. We know Henderson has the speed. It's almost a thunder and lightning situation, but I can't get that team right. And I'm surprised that Henderson doesn't get more action. He's had some monster games. He had 147 yards against Tampa. He had 96 yards against the Jets with 5 receptions and 3 touchdowns. He had 148 yards against Buffalo this season, and we know how explosive he is, and arguably one of the fastest running backs in the league. So, look, these guys are good, but the Chargers are number 1. This is what is, to me, their overall strength here, but I still have big concerns. Let's continue on with the chat here a little bit. I'll talk about a few more players here, because I think that, when we talk about the players, I don't know about you guys when you're watching the game, but don't you sometimes say, hey, that's what Ramon was saying? Just kidding. Maybe you do. I just know, like, when the guy goes and does, what I said he'd do on the show, I'm like, I hope somebody was listening. All right, Chargers for the upset, says Cal Dog here. Patriots for Timmy Two Shoes says they are ready for battle. And the Chargers may not have that offense clicking, says Mr. Weskers. And maybe the Chargers are a year away here. They are. They have to be. This team is just not healthy enough to do anything long-term, in my opinion. And I'm an objective Chargers fan. I'm totally thrilled with this season. I think they've overachieved here big time already. And Timmy says they'll disappear here tonight. And Andre, Chargers money line. Chargers defense is legit. Allen for a TD. McConkey for a TD. Go over his receptions there. Hampton under in his rushing yards, and Vidal over in his receiving yards, and May to throw an interception. I might be okay with that, but like I said, Hampton does get a lot of, you're saying Vidal over in his receiving yards, and if Hampton's ready, he is the guy. You look at the overall receiving stats for Hampton, when he's been available, and like I said, 8 targets in that game against Houston. He really can take it here with the passing game. All right. Let's see here. Aronde Gadsden in there as well, talking about, I'm kind of neutral with that, with the receiving game here, although Hunter Henry Chargers are pretty good defending tight ends. Hunter Henry's been spectacular for sure this season, and is certainly going to get targeted quite a bit. I think the Chargers could be ready though for that. All right, and Vrabel, what a decision for the Patriots to bring uh, Vrabel in here. Made perfect sense, and this looks like a long-term situation. Wow, look, LALB says could be some bad weather. I didn't know that. I thought it was going to be clear, so my apologies there. And says wind gusts up to 16. I'm showing 9 to 10 miles an hour during the game here, but LALB's got a little bit more crazy out there. That's bad for the Chargers. All right, I think we're almost done here. Thank you for all the comments. Henderson and Steve spent only an hour on football games because I love them. Timmy likes the quarterbacks to get out there and do things. And, always a problem, Ziggy, for the Chargers. And let's see, he says Herbert out in the cold, LA team out in the cold. It's not good, but quarterbacks in the playoffs making their first, it's not his first start in the playoffs. Herbert is 0-2 in the postseason. Oh, maybe on the road, though. Is that what he's saying? But I think they had one road game, 1-1, one road game. Stevenson touchdown, Henry touchdown, and Henderson touchdown. That's a lot of touchdowns, Andre. Oh, and yeah, you're right, Mr. Weskers. And the Chargers are just behind the Patriots at this point, and that's why they're playing this game on the road there, right? So, all right. He says Chargers have struggled. Look, the game against Houston last year. What can you say? I mean, they got beat in that game, and I had more confidence in the Chargers' chances against Houston last year in that loss than I do in this game against the Patriots here. Sonny's got the Patriots to win. And hey, Cinna, figure it out here. Who's better against the run here? I've got the Chargers. Chargers are my number one team here currently in the league against the run. So I do think the Patriots, I have them just outside the top 5 against the run. I have number 7 currently. I think number 6 after the results today. I think one of my teams dropped out. Okay. Oh, Drake May, first time playoff. Thank you. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, Ziggy, sure thing. And look, you're right, James Kelly. Nice to see you in the chat there. The Chargers offensive line, they're just beat up. They've done a credible job, but again, you just see it time and time again. Herbert just getting pummeled there a little bit. Cinna figured out does like the points here. I'm not so worried about. I just want them to win, but I think this is going to be tough for the Chargers. Early on in the season, the Patriots, you could look at some of the results that they had. They actually, at the start of the season, with that incredible string of victories too, they kind of were doing some things. There's some historical numbers that say that they have the tendency of a Super Bowl champion. Some of the wins that they had, yes, they ended up with a weak schedule too, but for a time there, they really were putting up things that only Super Bowl champs do here. So, I don't know if they're all that just yet, but I think the Patriots are. They've totally fixed it right now. Okay, give me the under in this one with the Chargers and the Patriots. All 3 of my plays are on the side at Tony'sPicks.com. All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. I think that's it for the football. We did spend a lot of time on that. I am taking the under, so to figure it out in this one. And hey, I went 0-2 with my totals here on the show yesterday going under, but yeah, you knew it, right? No, you really can't. Ziggy says you can't pin them. Like I said, Ziggy, I think the public was wrong a little bit on the Patriots. I have the Patriots rated a little bit higher, I think, than most of the public right now. And again, I think they, to me, look, I don't know if they can do this. I don't know if they have quite the experience right now. To me, I rate the Patriots as the top AFC team. I like their offense better than Denver's offense here with the running game a little bit. And Jacksonville, Uh, hey, Jacksonville's been great too, no doubt about it. So, but I think I like the Patriots over Jacksonville as well. It's just hard to kind of just go out there the way the Patriots have not they've not tailed off a little bit, but all right. Thanks, you guys. Nothing's won on paper. Thanks, you guys. That's it for the. We got to get moving here. I'm talking football with you guys, talking football by myself, and you guys help me. Then this is great. What a life. Okay, let's go to the. There's a big NBA card here. A little anticlimactic for sure, but let's talk NBA basketball. It's an NBA Sunday, going right up against the NFL all day here. But let's go to the card here. Maybe we'll rattle it off relatively quickly and get started here with our first matchup. The Pelicans are taking on the Magic on Sunday, 3 Eastern, noon Pacific, and the Magic come in here following a loss. They're 21-18. The Magic lost last time out to Philadelphia, 103-91. They failed to cover in 3 straight games. New Orleans here just broke their long losing streak finally by defeating Washington on the road. They really dumped them, 128-107 for an impressive victory. These two teams have been struggling here of late. Both teams just a few covers here over the last few games right now for New Orleans here, just 2-8 against the spread their last 10 games overall, and Orlando 1-6 against the spread in their last 7. New Orleans has lost 9 of their last 10. They're also 0-7 against the spread against the Magic in the last 7 meetings between these two teams. So Magic, pretty considerable favorite here at 6.5 points, but they have not been covering very well, although they have won 10 of their last 14 games at home. 8 of the last 12 meetings between these two teams have gone over. However, Orlando's gone under in 8 of their last 11, 12-16 to the under as a favorite, while New Orleans has gone under in 5 straight games coming into this one. So I'm going to take the under here with New Orleans and Orlando. It's a lot of points, but I think I'd probably lean to the favorite here. But let me take the under here to get the proceedings started, and you can comment in the chat right now on this one between Orlando and New Orleans. These two teams did meet back on October the 16th, and it was 132-125. Orlando got the win at home as a 7.5 point favorite. Let's see what you guys have, if anything, here. Here's the Magic. Andre, no, I took over in the Patriots game, by the way, in the Philly game, by the way. So I guess I'm under in 4 of the 5 games so far. It didn't work out for me today. Ziggy says under in the Pelicans game there, along with me, I think. Timmy says that's got to be an under as well. And Magic against the spread. Yeah, maybe here. That's might be the lean for me there as well. Mr. Weskers is agreeing on the under for LALB. All right. The Nets will take on the Grizzlies in this one. You got the Nets here, 7.5 point underdogs right now. Let me see, 6.5 on screen, but there's some 7s out there too. I think it might be smart to move it to 7. I think we're going to see a little bit higher here. And the total here is about 220 in this one. The Nets come in here off consecutive losses. So does Memphis. Memphis lost to Phoenix and OKC at home. Here they've lost a couple in a row. It's their 4th straight home game. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, they've just finished a 3-game homestand. They beat Denver, but then lost to Orlando and the Clippers. Memphis is 10-5 against the spread as a favorite this season. You got 2 teams that definitely know how to go under here. For Brooklyn, they are 15-20 to the under. Memphis is 15-23 to the under coming in. However, 13 of the last 20 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Memphis has actually gone over in 5 of their last 7 at home. Although, like I said, Brooklyn's been a steady under here right now. Brooklyn just 4-9 against the spread their last 13 meetings against the Grizzlies here. But Memphis right now has lost 6 of their last 7 straight up and gone just 2-5 against the spread their last 7 games overall. Brooklyn, however, has lost 5 of 6 and gone just 2-4 against the spread in their last 6 games. So Memphis trying to get it back on track here, or get something going here anyway. They're now 6 games under 500.
Final.
With another bit of a losing spell, if you can call it that here right now. So let's see what you have though in the chat. See if you want to make a call on this one with Memphis and Brooklyn. Like I said, Memphis has been an okay favorite for sure. All right. I'm going to start it off here with Ziggy going with the Grizzlies. Timmy Two Shoes going with the Grizzlies as well. And Sonny talking about that Pistons game there against the Clippers. Yeah, boy, I was on the under here on the show in that one last night, but I definitely was on the Pistons in that game against the Clippers. And all right, hey, Anthony Black over on his points here. And Timmy says, can't do it. Can't go with the Nets here in this one. Hello to Chris Perez in the chat today. Hello to Chris. He's talking Oakland, KC, and Miami. We'll get to that one in a few moments. All right, let's see here. Jermaine going with Johnson there. And Senna figured out, says, look, the no point spread there in one of the props. Or is it in the... let's see, what is he saying there in the Timberwolf game yesterday with the Cavs? Oh, I had the under here on the show yesterday. I went with the under, so let's see here. And it went over for sure. And Mr. West says Memphis does have issues. Yeah, at least, but they're playing, obviously a weak team here in Brooklyn. Although Brooklyn, you can't tell when their next win is going to come on the home or on the road. All right, and let's see here. Memphis for LALV. Thanks, Chris, for your comments on OKC. We preview the games in a Vegas rotation order, so kind of start with the early games and then move west. Anybody can find these rotation numbers on some websites. Some people still use them. All right. There's more Jackson. And thank you, Chris. Really appreciate it. And that'll do it for this one. I'm going to take the Memphis Grizzlies here. I'm going to lay 7 points here against Brooklyn. Next up, we've got the Sixers taking on the Raptors, and the Sixers a 4-point road favorite, 4.5 here or so. Total 223, 223.5. Philly continues to play pretty well right now and on a 2-game winning streak here with wins and covers over Washington and Orlando. They've really been pretty awesome here. This is their role. 13-3-1 on the road against the spread here so far this season for Philly. They're also 13-7 against the spread as a favorite. Now Toronto is 9-6 against the spread as an underdog, just 8-12 against the spread at home. So I think the numbers kind of shake out that Philly is the side to look at here. But anytime, with Toronto at home, it's not been perfect, but they are 12-8 straight up at home. Scotty Barnes is questionable still here with a knee. Ingram is questionable with a thumb injury. RJ Barrett is out. Podol continues to remain out. Joel Embiid might miss this one. Questionable here. Could be his rest day here on the road in Toronto. These two teams have met twice this season, both times in Philly, but did split. Philly won the first one, 130-120 as a 5-point favorite. Meanwhile, the second game, Philly won it, Toronto won it 121-112. They were actually favored on the road in that game. Pardon me. Let's go to the chat, see what you have in this one. Philly just 1-5 against the spread. Their last 6 games against Toronto overall, 6 of the last 8 meetings between the two teams have gone over. Toronto's gone under in 10 of their last 14 games overall. They're 8-12 to the under at home. Philadelphia has gone over in 5 of their last 7 and 7 of their last 10 overall. They're 11-9 to the over. As a favorite, I got to take the Toronto Raptors plus the points here against Philly. Look, we've had success betting Philly, but I'm going to try Toronto here in this one. They've been okay as an underdog here for sure. They did lose last time out at Boston, but they were on a 3-game winning streak before that, defeated Atlanta twice and beat Charlotte. So I'm going to take the Raptors, though, in this one. See if you guys have anything in the chat with these two. All right, let's see here. The Raps plus. Ziggy, though, liking the spread. He's going to lay it on the road. Jimmy liking the under here. Mr. Westbrook says Barnes messing around there a little bit. How about Maxey over his point total for Sonny? Great job, Sonny, there. If Embiid is out, that's always kind of what you want to do, right? You want to. One thing we always say is, everyone wants to wait. You're supposed to project. Can't always be right, but you try to take a stab at when and if guys are going to be out, and that's when you pounce on those props before the announcement if you can. LALV on the Raptors. And Jermaine's got Maxey under in his rebounds. All right, we'll keep it moving here in the NBA with the Knicks on the road here, taking on the Blazers. Knicks are a 4.5-point favorite on the road against one of the hottest teams in all of basketball. Yep, I said it. The Portland Trailblazers, winners of 5 in a row. They've covered them, of course. Here, I think they've been a dog in all. Were they a favorite? Let me see here. They were they played Utah at home, and they were a favorite. They also were a favorite against New Orleans, but they've won and covered now 5 straight games coming in, and the Knicks are struggling here against the number and overall right now. They've lost 5 of their last 6 games coming in, just going 2-11 against the spread in their last 13 games overall. The Knicks have gone over in 10 of their last 15, but the Blazers have gone under in 5 of their last 6 and 8 of their last 10. They're also 9-16 to the under as an underdog. The Knicks and the Blazers have gone under in 4 of their last 5 meetings against one another. This is the first meeting between the two teams, though, this season. So, no doubt with the Knicks, if you want to point back to where their woes kind of started, it's when the glue, Josh Hart, left the lineup. Now, finally, he's moved into the questionable category here. So, could he see the lineup here today? And for Portland, as good as they have been, they have had injuries, but they've been able to work through the injuries here. But still, this is a little bit of a injury report that has Robert Williams questionable, Drew Holiday questionable, Murray is out, Jeremy Grant is out as well. So definitely got some guys here for the Blazers, but man, they're just playing so well here right now, and they're 17-8 against the spread as an underdog, 12-7 against the spread at home. You got to take a couple of points here with these hot Blazers right now. Yes, maybe this is an opponent that the Knicks can take care of here finally. They've kind of owned these guys a little bit for sure. They've won 5 straight meetings against them. The meeting here last year in Portland, the Knicks won. They were a 4-point favorite. Final score, 114-113. They did not cover in that one. So, and also in the year before, Knicks came in as a 12-point favorite and pushed. Let's see what you got here. I got to take the Blazers in this one. All right, let's see here. So figured out, Ramon still got game. So we don't need Mr. Wesker's on the Knicks. Ziggy on the Knicks here as well. And let's see. Timmy says grab the points now, right? If Embiid's out, there you go. See, Timmy says he likes Knicks. And Sonny says the hottest team is Nebraska after that game today. Man, what a comeback, huh? Never in doubt. LALB is liking the under here. And Mr. West says, you know what? I think the Blazers might have gotten their fill here a little bit. Public's going to be all over them. The Knicks are way too big for these guys. And Avia here for Jermaine, under on his threes. I still got to roll with the Blazers here in this one. All right, Spurs and Wolves here right now. Here's a good one. This might be the game of the night, huh? Got the Spurs coming in here 27-11 on a 2-game winning streak right now with wins over the Lakers and Boston. Minnesota, meanwhile, was on a roll, no doubt. They did get knocked down last game by Cleveland yesterday, so they are on the back-to-back, but so is San Antonio. San Antonio had that fine win yesterday at Boston, 100-95, and then take off here. Oops, let me fix that spread, though. Let me fix the graphic there. Oh, it's still right, but there we go. Minnesota, meanwhile, yeah, they lost to Cleveland. It was the second consecutive game against Cleveland. They were playing a home and home with the Cavs, but interesting that Minnesota was able to beat them 131-122. And they kept coming back there yesterday, but when they ran out of gas, pardon me, gang. It was a long day of football. When they ran out of gas, they just ran out of gas and ended up losing the game by 12 points there. But hey, at least Minnesota's back here at home. San Antonio traveling in here from Boston in this one. So see what you got. Is a little bit too much to ask even for the Spurs here against this Minnesota team that not only playing well, but you got Ant-Man just really on fire here at this point. This team's playing pretty cohesive here. The Timberwolves, Minnesota's won and covered 4 of their last 5. They've gone over in 4 of their last 5 as well. San Antonio has gone just 1-5 straight up in their last 6 games against Minnesota, but they've covered 6 out of the last 9 meetings against Minnesota. The two teams already met once this season. Minnesota won it at home and covered 4.5, 125-112. So wasn't a great trip for the Spurs. And like I said, the Spurs have lost 4 straight meetings actually to them overall. San Antonio's covered 12 of their last 17 coming in. They're 9-4. ATS is an underdog. Remember, Minnesota's been one of the worst spread teams this season, although they've made big strides here of late. They're still 9-11 against the spread at home, 14-18 against the spread as a favorite. Usually they've been favored by too many points. I don't know if that's going to be the case here in this one. 4 of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over, although Minnesota 7-13 to the under at home this season. I'm going to take the under in this one with San Antonio and Minnesota. I think San Antonio might be the team that may end up with a little bit of trouble scoring here in this game, but I'll try the under here as my play. But I think maybe the home favorite here might be the play. Let's see what you guys have in the chat in this one. And here we go. All right. Chris says we skipped OKC. No, Chris, we go in Las Vegas rotation order. I don't know if you're familiar with this, but it's a kind of an old form of maybe there was a time change. Let me see here. No. We go in Vegas rotation order, Chris. So you can find these like on some gambling websites. You'll see a little 3-digit number, kind of in like I don't know if I could kind of show it on here. The like right there, it shows like a number of the order there, a little bit there of how the games are listed according to Sportsbook. So I know that was kind of crude there to show my cheat sheet there a little bit, but. All right, let's see here. Wizards and Suns are the game of the night, says Senna. Ziggy leaning to the under here. Mr. Wester's Wolves money line seems too easy here in this one. Spurs like to show up versus the good teams. LALV is on the over. Senna, figure it out. Let's see here. He got burned by Detroit. All right. Jermaine says Fox under his threes. All right. Let's see here. And Reed's 3 threes for Timmy. All right. We'll get to it. Let's go to it. We gotta make sure we don't lose my man out there. Jermaine also says Johnson over 12.5 points. Let's get to that OKC game. We don't want to lose my man. Chris here. He's been waiting for this game all day.
Urgent message.
All right. Let's take a look at this one now between the Heat and the Thunder here. I've got the Thunder favored by 14 here, maybe 13.5, but if your books right now, 233, 232.5, somewhere around there right now. The Thunder, big 14-point favorite here, but come on, the Thunder, they're terrible right now. But at least they won again. They got a couple of wins here, but they failed to cover in 4 straight games right now. You can't keep laying these double digits game in and game out, can you? Maybe you can against this Miami team right now. Look, Miami's lost 2 in a row here. They're 20-18. We've been on Miami a lot this year. Maybe a little bit too much, but there's still been a good cover. 21-16 overall, 12 against the spread, 12-7 against the spread overall. For Oklahoma City here, they've definitely had their woes of late here. They battled some injuries. They've had to rest guys, rest bulk guys here a little bit. It's kind of caught up with them finally. They're not going to, they might even, they may even lose 15 games. Who knows? But they've gone just 1-4 against the spread in their last 5 games, 6-2 straight up in their last 8 games overall. For Miami here, just 1-5-1 against the spread against the Oklahoma City Thunder in the last 7 meetings, and they've gone just 1-4 straight up against them. They have not met yet this season, but nonetheless, the Thunder kind of had the Heat's number, if you will. Heat have gone under in 4 of their last 5. They've also gone under in 8 of their last 10 games on the road. The Thunder and OKC, let's see here, 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams have gone under here with these two. So let's go to the chat and see what you have here in this one. Man, big number here again for Oklahoma City, and they're not exactly still healthy. They're getting a few guys healthy here, but you have Hartenstein still out, but Shea is probable. Holmgren is probable. Those guys are back in here. Feels actually like a pretty complete lineup other than Hartenstein for the Thunder here. So let's see what you got. I'm ready for you. And see what you guys think about this one. Especially Chris. You better comment. Where is he? All right. Let's see here. OKC for Mr. Weskers. He says Miami didn't look too good in those last 2 games. And let's see here. Miami not right, not healthy, and no talent. I don't know. I mean, Mr. Weskers, we've been banking on Miami a little bit. Like I said, maybe I have used them a few too many times, but we were on them so early there when they were really making the money. Let's see here. Timmy says, who's out for the Heat? And I've got the Heat, pretty much with a clean injury report here. Really, the only guy that you really have on the injury report for the Heat, I mean, is I don't really show anybody.
Urgent message.
Coming in here with a clean bill of health right now. All right. Let's see here. Ziggy says they played. They have played this. They have played this season in Miami. Oh, the 2 teams did play this season in Miami. Okay, I didn't write that down. I missed it, Ziggy. Who won that game? I mean, I'm assuming the Thunder won, but I didn't check it. I didn't. Let me. What's the series? What did I say about the series history here? 1-5-1 for Miami ATS. There's the LAOB on the Thunder here, and Ziggy is on the Thunder here, I think. And like I said, it feels like the Thunder have gotten a little bit healthier here for sure. Look, I think the Heat still got a pretty good team here right now. I'm probably going to just take the Heat in this one plus the points. Maybe the Thunder get on back on track here. This might be the spot there. So. All right, Ziggy says Jermaine said they didn't play. That's what I thought, Jermaine. Jermaine said they have not played yet, but Ziggy said they did win it. So I didn't know. I did not write that down when I was doing the. All right, and Mr. Westwood says when Larson was in the lineup, they went and had the two bigs in there, and then another guy comes back in. I see which. Oh, that was a quote from Normie. Okay, yeah, I'll take. I'm going to take the. I'll take the Heat here plus those points. Look, Thunder are still great. I'm sure they'll still start smashing some opponents here for sure. But all right, let's move on. Still got more games here.
Major line
Okay.
move.
Oh, okay. Thank you there, Jermaine. Going with Williams under 17.5 points. Okay. Next up, the game of the night. Someone said Wizards and Suns here in this one. And man, you got one team that covers spreads and one team that doesn't win or cover spreads, with the Suns coming in here. I mean, look, if really you want to talk about the team that's making you money this year, it's got to be the Phoenix Suns. But I don't know. This has to be the first time they've been favored by 14 points this season. I know they played Sacramento a couple weeks ago, beat up on them at home, 129-102. The Suns don't let up. They're 27-11 against the spread right now. They've covered 9 of their last 10. They're 14-4 against the spread at home. So these guys have been spot on here right now. Phoenix has covered 5 straight. They've won 8 of their last 10. They've gone over in 12 of the last 18 meetings with the Washington Wizards over the last decade or so. Washington's lost 13 of their last 16 on the road. They've also lost 5 straight to Phoenix. However, they've covered 5 of the last 7 meetings against Phoenix. Usually they've just been getting too many points. Teams did meet already in their first meeting this season. Phoenix won at 115-101. They covered, Phoenix did, in that one. This total's moved here. Let's see. Is it still 229? Okay. I'm going to take the under in this one. I can tell you right now, I don't know if I want to lay 14. We've been rolling here with these Suns, no doubt about it. They've been terrific, but Suns here, 5-11 to the under as a favorite, 6-12 to the under at home. Washington's had some unders here of late as well. They've gone under in 6 of their last 8 games. So I'm going to be taking the under here in this one. Let's see if you guys have any picks in this game of the night. And what happened to Chris? There, I wanted that comment on the Heat game. Guess he gave it to us there early on, so appreciate you, Chris. All right, let's see here. Cinna figured out likes the Wizards plus those points. And the Thunder won here 113. Oh, in that other game, Ziggy said they won 113-105. Man, I geez, I don't know what happened to I don't know why I missed that there. In that other game with the Heat and the Heat and the Thunder there. Okay, I gotcha. Okay, let's see here. Okay, here's Gillespie under in his assist there. Let me take a look at that injury report. You guys are mentioning some. Let's see. Trae Young still going to be out right now. Not ready to come. Not ready to make this lineup just yet. Hopefully, It's been we've heard a lot of Trey. We've seen a lot of Trey. We've seen him with his new uniform. We just haven't seen him want to get in the game yet, huh? Ziggy going on the under here in the Suns game. And Wizards plus the points here for LALB. And I'm going to take the under in this one. Next up, the Bucks taking on the Nuggets here in this one. The Bucks come in 17-21, Nuggets 25-13, but it's the Bucks that have won 3 of the last 4. Nuggets have won 2 of their last 3, but the Bucks with wins here over Charlotte and Sacramento, but then they beat the Lakers on the road. We had the Bucks in that one. For the Nuggets here, coming in off of that loss to Atlanta. They really got pummeled, but again, they were we already know they're injured, but they were really shorthanded in that game, and even the Atlanta Hawks were able to take advantage of that. Still, the Nuggets a good cover here, 7-3 as an underdog this season for the Nuggets, and that'll be their role here. Milwaukee just 7-10 against the spread as a favorite. The two teams have not yet met this season. And let's see what you guys have here in this one with Milwaukee and Denver. Milwaukee's always lost this game, really. They've lost 12 of the last 15 years here into Denver. Milwaukee, though, has covered 4 of their last 5 on the road. They've won 5 of their last 7 overall coming into this one. The Nuggets have gone under in 5 of their last 6 meetings with the Milwaukee Bucks. Denver's gone over, though, in 7 of their last 10 at home. Milwaukee's gone under in 14 of their last 20 games overall coming in. The Bucks are just 7-13 to the under on the road this season. See what you guys have here with the Bucks taking on the Nuggets here, and see how the Nuggets injury report looks this time. Sans Jokic today. Murray questionable still. And Valanciunas, he's still out here now. It's been 10 days for Valanciunas here. Spencer Jones, questionable. Christian Brown is probable. Aaron Gordon is probable here. Those are good signs if they can get Murray in this lineup. And also Porter Jr. here, questionable. Oh, no, probable for the Bucks. And let's see what you guys have here in this one. And Mr. Wesker's on the Bucks money line. Ziggy's on the under here in this one. And what does he mean? He's put his money into the ownership, Mr. Weskers, or he's committed? Committed. LALV on the over here. And there's Greg. Greg made it. He's got his pick here. He likes the Bucks to roll. He likes the Bucks to win and cover. I'm taking the Nuggets here, plus the points. Give me the Nugs in this one. Hawks and Warriors here on this big NBA card here with the Hawks 6-point underdog in this one, maybe 6.5 here now, 233.5 or so right now. With the Warriors favored here against the New Look Hawks. Both teams have won 2 in a row here right now. For the Wizards here, back-to-back wins over Milwaukee and Sacramento at home. They covered both. Atlanta, though, with covers here, wins and covers against New Orleans and against the Nuggets in that last game. Hey, they kicked
major line
Trey to the curb, and so far so good for the Atlanta Hawks. Maybe this is a turnaround for the franchise needed. That's what you guys are telling me anyway. KP is questionable in this game. Ricochet is out of this game. That's pretty much it on the injury report here right now. For the Hawks, they are 13-8 against the spread as an underdog. Warriors just 13-15 against the spread as a favorite. Hawks are also 13-9 against the spread on the road, often a road dog, and it's been good for them in that role. For the Warriors here, they've won 8 of their last 11, but covered just 2 of their last 6. Atlanta's gone 6-2 against the spread in their last 8 games, although they've dropped 9 of their last 13 games overall coming in. Golden State's gone over in 6 of their last 9 games. Atlanta's gone under in 5 of their last 6, although 6 of the last 8 meetings between these two teams have gone over. Atlanta's 13-9 to the over on the road, and the Warriors are 18-10 to the over as a favorite here. That's where I've got this one going. Let's see what the Hawks have for pace now, or scoring wise without Young. Yeah, they got 117 in that win over New Orleans and 110, but they really put the beat down as Denver could only score 87 points in that last game. The Warriors have won 13 of the last 20 meetings between the two teams. I got to go over here in this one with Atlanta and Golden State on Sunday night. And we'll go to the chat in this one. It's going to be Ziggy on the Warriors here. Greg said the Bucks look good against the Lakers. Oh, that was that other. Sorry about that. Warriors for Mr. Weskers here. And Greg has this one. I think he likes this one to go under. Mr. Wesker's kind of comparing the Hawks to the Kings. Wow. Greg said Atlanta looked good against Denver in that game. Yeah, but I thought Denver just looked kind of lifeless too. They didn't really have a very good lineup out there. Bunch of really a makeshift lineup in that one. LALB, Warriors and over here. And Timmy says maybe the Hawks in the first half is the way to look. I'm taking the over in this one. And finally, the Rockets are on the road taking on the Kings. No end in sight for this Kings team right now, man. I mean, can they really even get a cover here the way things are going? Now, they're going up against a Houston team that is not covering numbers here all of a sudden either. And Houston usually struggles a little bit in this series. Believe it or not, Houston's lost 4 out of the last 5 games against the Sacramento Kings. And just went 1-4 against the spread in those games as well. Houston's gone just 1-5 against the spread in their last 6. They come in here with back-to-back losses to Portland, remember, on the road, and they beat Phoenix but didn't cover. They lost to Dallas on the road here. They've been on the road quite a bit here of late. Their 5th road game in 6 games, and their one home game was just a 1-game trip in the middle of a bunch of road games. So it's been a little bit of a tough schedule here for Houston, but Sacramento right now has lost 7 straight, just 1-6 against the spread overall. Really hard to find the gumption to take the Kings here. I guess 12 points, maybe the saving grace. 10 of the last 14 meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Sacramento's gone under in 4 of their last 5, and Houston's gone under in 5 straight coming in. Sacramento just 7-11 to the under at home, and 15-20 to the under as a dog. Man, Sacramento 12-23 against the spread as an underdog this season, 6-12 against the spread at home. Can the Rockets really beat them by 12 points here, though? And this is the one team, or maybe it's not so much the team that gives them trouble. Maybe it's just been that Houston doesn't really take the game seriously enough, and then that costs them. But maybe with their slump here, maybe that is what they need to do, but maybe they're just not playing that well overall right now. Phoenix covering these big numbers. Can you really do it against this Sacramento team here? Let's go to the chat. Our final game of the night here between Houston and Sacktown. Here we go with Ziggy likes the under here in this one. And Schroeder is suspended for this game. There wasn't that fight with Draymond, that fake fight. Şengün is questionable for this game, but I think Şengün could make this lineup. With an ankle injury here. I think he's expected, maybe he's listed as questionable here right now. Isaiah Crawford questionable. Eason is out with an ankle turn. Keegan Murray still out with an ankle injury as well. And let's see, yep, tried fighting Luca there. And let's see. Greg says here he likes Houston to be able to get this cover here. LAOB Kings first half. And Mr. Wesker's here, I think, maybe on the Rockets in this one with those big points. All right, I'll take the
Major
under here.
lineman.
I'll go under in this one with this big double-digit spread. Give me the under here. That's it for the NBA. Wow, what a card. Man, we've been here almost for 2 hours already, and I'm not even into the hockey just yet. Let's get to college basketball.
Major lineman.
I've got 4 games on tap here, just the best 4, I think, today on Sunday. Let's start it off top of the board. Get you started before the hour, at least 1 hour here before the football action. We got Illinois taking on Iowa here in this one. Battle of ranked teams here in the Big Ten. Illinois comes in ranked 16th. They're 12-3 overall, a 4-game winning streak coming in for the Hawkeyes. They lost last time out. They are ranked 19th. They're 12-3 overall, but they're coming in off of a loss at Minnesota, 70-67. There, they were favored by 4.5. Sent their winning streak to an end. And that one, Illinois, meanwhile, with coming in off a win over Rutgers, they also beat Penn State, Southern, and Missouri, going 3-1. ATS is part of that 4-game winning streak here coming in for the Fighting Illini. Illinois has been a solid under this season, 4-11 to the under, 1-4 to the under on the road. But Iowa is an 8-4 to the over at home and 7-4 to the over as a favorite. So for me, I'm going to end up going over here despite this big, heavy trend of Illinois unders right now at 143. I am taking the over in this one. Iowa's won 9 straight right now at home. Iowa just 3-8-1 against the spread in their last 12 at home. But, man, this is virtually a pick'em here right now. Illinois has actually covered 5 straight versus Iowa here right now overall. It's just that when they are here at home, Iowa's gotten a couple of them, but recently you had the teams met last March, and Illinois won at 106-94 as a 9.5 point favorite. That was in regulation. That was that incredible Big Ten playoff game last year. The regular season meeting was 81-61. Illinois won and covered at home, covering 11.5. So they've definitely had Iowa's number here a little bit, but yeah, the Hawkeyes are at home where they've been so good this season, undefeated at home so far, straight up. So want to comment on this one, let me know. Illinois has won 6 of their last 7 coming in. They've covered 5 of their last 7 games overall. See what we got here. We've got LALB on Illinois. Mr. Weskers is on Iowa here. And let's see here. Timmy Two Shoes goes for pizza. Cinna Figured Out says, how about Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart? Well, I'll take a peek at it here, Cinna. Just give me a moment. Thank you, Ziggy. What a great job you gave to us today there. Great job in the chat. Really appreciate you. Make sure you set your everyone go follow Ziggy on X, and I have a notification set to Ziggy because you know what? When the guy only tweets out his picks, that's the kind of guys I like to follow. If he started giving me his position on I don't know, but Ziggy gives you the picks, and I always get them delivered to my phone. Thank you so much, Ziggy. Greg here on Illinois. And let's see, Timmy says he's on Iowa. Yeah, we're covering just the 4 best, and we're covering Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart. You know what we need DeAndre tonight because he loves covering Sacred Heart games on our show. Hey, want to say hello and welcome to Bearish J today. Thank you, Bearish J. I hope you're well. Hey, I don't care how bearish you are or what kind of bearish you are. I'm just really appreciative to have you in here on the chat. Thank you, Bearish J. We're bearish on tomorrow's card. That's for sure. He likes Iowa, though, in this one. And It's Mr. Weskers, you know what? It's always pizza, isn't it? I mean, you know what? If it comes to making the choice, LALB's on the under here. And see, I was down the rabbit hole the other night looking at pizza videos on YouTube, like not history of pizza, and not pizza review time. Let's see here. Timmy says Pittsburgh. Okay, that's it for that one. Let me go on the next one here. Let me sneak in that Sacred Heart. Oh no, I'll do it in order. I'll do it in the chronological order like we always do. Okay, next up, Memphis and Florida Atlantic here, and another good one here on Sunday. Got Memphis coming in 7-7. Florida Atlantic comes in 10-6, but Memphis is starting to heat up. They've won 3 in a row with wins over Alabama State. They covered that one, laying 20.5. They beat North Texas. They beat Rice, but they didn't get the money in those. They are 9-5 against the spread this season, are the Memphis Tigers, but just 3-3 ATS on the road for FAU. Meanwhile, they're 6-1 against the spread at home right now, 7-2 against the spread as a favorite. I like their position in this game. Memphis is on a roll here in conference play dating back to last season right now. And really been cruising here. We know currently in the American right now. They lead the standings here they're 2-0. Temple and Tulane are actually 3-0 coming into this one. FAU is 2-1 here right now. So pretty good here. You got Dougie McDaniel, of course, for Memphis leading the way, but FAU's got a real nice team, and I got to think FAU can take this one in this matchup with Memphis here at home. I'm going to prefer FAU here. They've covered 6 of their last 7 overall. They've won 6 of their last 7 at home. Memphis just 1-4 ATS, last 5 on the road. I've actually got them. Yeah, I've actually got them 2-3. One of those might have been. Let me see here real quick if it was a close one. Here that I might have had a non-cover, but nonetheless, let's move on. Florida Atlantic's gone over in 5 of their last 7 coming in. 4 of the last 5 meetings between these two teams have gone under. Memphis is 2-5 to the under as an underdog. I'm going to take Florida Atlantic here to pass Memphis up in the standings here with a win tonight. Mr. Weskers is on Memphis in this one. Timmy wants to go over here, and Greg says he's got it 73-70. He's got Memphis winning this one on the road. LALB, Memphis, and under here. I'm taking Florida Atlantic. How about that? All right, now we'll do the Quinnipiac game. We got to put it in here. It was by special request.
Major line move.
We have Quinnipiac going to be favored on the road. In this one by about 5, total 152 against Sacred Heart. There we go. We've got a graphic for it now. How about that? All right, let's see if we can preview this one on the fly here a little bit. Might have to cue up my notes a little bit. All right, here we go. Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart in college basketball action here on Sunday, 2 Eastern and 11 Pacific. Got Quinnipiac coming in here. They've been alternating wins and losses here of late. They're coming off of a home win over Mount St. Mary's. 80-69 is an 8.5-point favorite in that one. Quinnipiac's 5-3 against the spread on the road this season. 5-2 actually in their last 7 ATS on the road. They've won 7 of their last 9. They've won 5 of the last 6 meetings here at Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart's lost 5 in a row, just 1-4 against the spread in those 5 games. The only cover was their last game against Marist in a 76-72 loss. It's a 5.5-point underdog. Before that, awful, man. They're just awful for Sacred Heart here. No wonder DeAndre always goes against them. They lost and failed to Towson. They lost and failed to Merrimack. They lost and failed to Niagara. They were favored in those games, actually, and they were favored against Canisius, and they lost that one as well. So they've been pretty bad here. 5 straight meetings between these two teams have gone over, but Sacred Heart has gone under in 5 of their last 7 games at home. Quinnipiac is 1-7 to the under as a favorite this season. Quinnipiac's gone under in 8 of their last 9, although they are 5-3 to the over on the road here so far this season. Then the teams met last year at Sacred Heart. It was 99-90 in favor of the Bobcats. So they were 2.5-point favorites in that one. In fact, the last time Sacred Heart beat Quinnipiac was before the pandemic. Quinnipiac also won the meeting, won both meetings last year. They won the meeting at home, 83-73 as a 5.5-point favorite. So, okay, let me hear from you in the chat there in this one. Hopefully we did this one a good service.
Major line move.
And we'll see what we got here in this one. I want to hear from you, Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart. A lot of unders in there for Quinnipiac, but man, look at that total. It's pretty high. You'd think it'd probably be a higher scoring game, right? All right, here we go.
Major line move.
Okay. All right, Cinna, thank you. Enjoy the meal there. Enjoy your breakfast. It's only 5 in the morning in there. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Thank you, LALB, for your other plays in there in the chat. All right. Cinna figured out is on the Bobcats here. Mr. Westwood says Sacred Heart, they've become a thing here on the show, I think. Can Quinnipiac get over their team total here? And Greg says he's got Quinnipiac to cover here in this one. LALB wants Quinnipiac as well. You guys are all over it, man. All right. Well, I'm going to go under in this one with Quinnipiac and Sacred Heart. Look, Quinnipiac's got a lot of unders here right now. As I said, 1-7 to the under as a favorite. Meanwhile, Sacred Heart 3-5 to the under as a dog. So give me the under here in this one. Andrew K's got his breakfast ready. And let's see, Quinnipiac team total. Oh, Timmy was talking about it. Okay, let me keep going here right now. They got 2 more games here. We still got to do the hockey, man. We've been here forever. Cincinnati and Central Florida in this one. You got Cincinnati on the road, a 3-point dog against the Knights here in this one. You've got total here, 151.5. This one's at 5 Eastern and 2 Pacific as we get winding down here on the college card. Central Florida comes in pretty hot, but they did lose last time out, 87-76 at Oregon State. That kind of stopped their winning streak. Cincinnati, meanwhile, not a moneymaker at all this season, just 5-10 ATS despite an 8-7 overall record. Cincinnati just 1-5 against the spread as an underdog so far this season. Cincinnati also 3-11 to the under this season, 1-5 to the under as an underdog. So they've struggled offensively in these road games, if you will. And this total at 151.5. Here between these two teams. You got a Cincinnati team actually that's, coming in here right now having lost 5 of their last 7 overall, just 3-9 ATS in their last 12 games overall. Central Florida, meanwhile, on a roll. They've won 11 of their last 12 games coming in. They're not a great cover, usually favored by too many points, but here just laying 3.5 against a Cincinnati team that certainly has had their struggles. Now they have covered 5 of their last 6 games overall against the Central Florida Knights. Cincinnati's gone under in 6 straight games coming in.
Major line
4
move.
of the last 5 meetings between the two teams have gone over, but Central Florida has gone under in 5 of their last 7 games. I got to take Central Florida in this one and lay the 3 against Cincinnati here at home. Look, Central Florida just beat Kansas last weekend. Yeah, they lost to Oklahoma State here at home. After that, they were riding high, though, off that win over KU. They also beat Florida Atlantic here at home, but did not cover. But I'm going to take them here to beat Cincinnati and get the money. Give me Central Florida here in this one. And we've got Greg. He likes this one right on the number there a little bit. Maybe he likes the over there a little bit. Greg says Cincinnati is pretty tough. Yeah, but they just lost at BYU. They were getting 1.5 in that one. It was close. They did get beat by Houston, but they hung in there, but they still didn't get the number. Before that, they were able to win and cover against Lipscomb. They covered as an underdog in a short loss at Clemson. And they also clobbered Alabama State. All right. And here we go. One more on the college card here right now with Ohio State. Taking on Washington. Big Ten action here. 6 Eastern and 3 Pacific at the heck. And Washington comes in here having lost a couple of games in a row to Purdue and Indiana. They did get the money last time out there against the Boilers on the road in an 81-73 loss. They were getting 17.5. Washington so far at home 6-1 straight up, 5-3 against the spread. OSU is 3-1 against the spread as an underdog. Ohio State though has gone just 2-5 ATS in their last 7, although they do come in here 11-4 so far this season. Just 3-6 against the spread their last 9 on the road. Washington's won 6 of their last 7 at home, but let's see what you guys have here in this one. And then the college basketball segment, I think, will be over here. I'm going to take the Washington Huskies at home and lay 2 points here tonight. And let's see what you guys have in this one. All right. Not much here. Yep, not much from you guys in this one. So appreciate it. That's it for the college basketball. Okay, we got Mr. Weskers on Washington, Timmy on Washington. Thank you, guys. Okay, gonna get moving here right now and go to our hockey card. Greg there with his pick as well. He likes Huskies also there in and under. We've got and Andre also on Washington. All right, you guys coming through big time there. I'm just going a little faster. We've been here a while. Long card, long show. No one likes long shows. But we got a 5-game NHL card to go over quickly here with the Devils taking on the Jets tonight. NHL action here for Sunday. The Jets favored here, $1.25, total 5.5. New Jersey comes in 22-20-2. Washington Winnipeg comes in 16-22-5. Winnipeg finally ended that long losing streak last time out. They did it. They beat LA 5-1 to end that 10-game, 11-game. With so many games, I forgot how many games it was. For New Jersey here, they come in on a 3-game losing streak right now with losses against Carolina, the Islanders, and Pittsburgh. Here right now, New Jersey's been a good underdog. They're 11-6 as an underdog. Meanwhile, Winnipeg, somehow this Winnipeg team, as bad as they've been this year, have been favored 26 times, and this is number 27. I mean, come on. Are you kidding me? This Winnipeg team has been so bad, and here they are, favored again. Yep, they finally won. It was an 11-game losing streak. They're 1-11 in their last 12, 1-5 straight up in their last 6 at home, but they've won 7 out of the last 8 times they played New Jersey here last 8 years at home. New Jersey just 3-13 against Winnipeg in their last 16 meetings, but this Winnipeg team has just been bad, bad, bad. Are they really going to, turn it around here right now off of one win? New Jersey's gone under in 6 of their last 7 on the road. New Jersey also under in 11 of their last 13 overall. Winnipeg's been an over in 5 straight here right now, and also over in 13 of 21 games at home so far this season. So let's see what you guys have here right now in this one between New Jersey and Winnipeg. Pretty intriguing for sure because of maybe the series dominance here. And you still have Hellebuck in there, even if he's been pretty mediocre here, to say the least, right now. So let me hear from you in the chat. If you'd like, in this one, the two teams have not yet met this season. But Winnipeg, maybe they found someone they can beat here. All right. Thank you to, let's see, someone checked out here. LALB, thank you very much and good night. Appreciate you. All right, so Devils here for Andre. Greg says the Jets keep rolling. They'll get their second straight win. Devils can't lose forever. Yeah, you know what? That 3-game losing streak, huh? Hey, Timothy Hawk made it. Good to see Timothy Hawk here in the chat. He's going to take the Jets, say they're ready to kind of turn it around here right now. Like I said, it's funny, the Jets are struggling, but they've actually been a decent underdog, so far this season. So, all right. Let's see here. I think that might be it from you guys in the chat right now. So, all right. In this one between Winnipeg and the Jets here, I'm going to go ahead and take the New Jersey Devils here over Winnipeg, and I'll take them at plus $1.05. Penguins here at the Bruins in this one, and Penguins going to be a road favorite here. Both teams playing well here right now. The Penguins, yeah, they did lose last time out, no doubt about it, but they were hot before that. For sure, the Penguins lost to Calgary 2-1 at home last time out to stop that winning streak that they were on. For Boston, meanwhile, they've won 2 in a row, but they've been even hotter than that, it feels like, here of late. Boston's won 4 of their last 5. Pittsburgh's lost 4 out of the last 5 meetings between the two. In fact, Boston's won 14 out of the last 18 meetings between the two teams here in TD. Pittsburgh has won 6 of their last 7 overall, but Boston's won 4 of 5 right now. Pittsburgh's gone under in 4 of their last 6. Boston and Pittsburgh have gone under in 13 of the last 20 meetings between the two teams, although this is the first meeting between the teams here so far this season. Pittsburgh's been a bad favorite, 7-8 as a favorite so far. Boston 14-8 at home. Pretty even matchup, it feels like to me, but let's see what you've got here with Pittsburgh on the road. Skinner's in there today going up against Korpisalo. I'm going to take the Penguins actually in this one on the road to beat Boston here tonight. Give me Pittsburgh, and we'll go to the chat and see what you guys have in this one. It's going to be maybe it's under here for Andre. Timothy is on the Brewers. Greg likes it. Pittsburgh 4-3. And Timmy is with me on the Penguins here. Greg likes this one to go overtime. Overtime. Here's the Blue Jackets on the road taking on the Mammoth. Mammoth are big favorite here, 185 against the Blue Jackets. Man, break them up. Blue Jackets have lost 4 in a row. That's probably part of the problem here. And the Utah Mammoth have won 3 in a row with wins over the Rangers, Ottawa, and St. Louis. Columbus here with losses to Pittsburgh, San Jose, Vegas, and Colorado. That's not exactly an easy schedule, but hey, they still are losing. Columbus 8-21 as an underdog so far this season, but they are 18-3 as a puck line dog. Meanwhile, Utah just 9-19 as a puck line favorite. Utah's won 11 of 18 at home. They're 16-12 as a favorite here. Man, this is a big price for this Utah team here. Jet Greaves in there for Columbus here in this one. Still a pretty big price to take a puck line on these guys right now, but nonetheless, you do have uh, Columbus at plus 1.5 at minus 165 here between these two. Uh, Utah's been going under here. Let me see. Of late, I'm showing right now that Utah has gone under in 4 of the last 5 meetings against Columbus. I'm sorry, Utah's gone over in 7 of their last 9 at home. Columbus has won 7 of the last 9 meetings between the two teams overall on the road. Columbus won games at Arizona as well. Here it dates back nearly a decade, actually. Columbus has done well against this franchise, but Columbus actually has lost 5 of the last 6 against them, with losing games actually at home between them. So Columbus beats them on the road and loses to them at home here of late. These two teams have not yet met this season, so go figure. In this goofy matchup, what do you like here in this one between Columbus and Utah? Let's go to the chat here a little bit and see what you have. I don't even know what I have here. This one I left blank. Utah puck line here for Andre. Greg likes it 5-2. Man, heavy Utah here. Jimmy says this has to be an under, I would think, with these two. And Timothy also liking the under there. All right. Appreciate that, gang. And this one, I gotta take the Mammoth here. I'm gonna take him on the puck line. Give me Utah to cover this one against the Blue Jackets. I'll lay the puck line. Next up, Capitals on the road taking on the Predators. Can I keep betting on the Predators here? And hey, I finally got a price that I can agree with here, maybe to take them in this one. Got Washington coming in here, 23-16-6. Nashville, 20-20-4. Coming in, Nashville off of a loss to Chicago last night, 3-0. Meanwhile, Washington was rested. They beat Chicago 5-1. So both these teams played their last game against Chicago. Washington won it 5-1, and Nashville lost 3-0. Well, I guess if you think about the common opponents, you'd know where to go with this matchup. But Washington's still a road favorite here tonight at Nashville, where, hey, Nashville's still 11-10 at home, but they are a poor underdog this season. 10-19 as an underdog are the Nashville Predators, but a lot of those actually were on the road. Like I said, I'm betting Nashville, and I can't stop betting Nashville, but not in this one. I've got Washington to win this one easy. A little bit of a price I'm laying here, but I like Washington here in this one tonight. I'm finally going against the Predators, although we did not take them in that last game either. They were such a heavy favorite against Chicago. We were actually on Chicago there. Andrew's with me on the Caps. And Camasano. Predators to bounce back, get the 3-2 win, says Greg. Timothy's on the Caps with me. And Timmy says Lindgren is in. Over. All right, I'm on the Capitals here in this one. We've got one more, and we got to wrap this show up, man. I mean, come on. Can you really stand 2 hours of me here like this? Let's go up next with the Golden Knights, taking on the Sharks here in this one. You got Lindbaum in there for the Golden Knights, so they're getting a little bit thin here, it feels like, in the goalie situation here with some of their injury woes here, but still going to be favored by $1.70 at the Sharks here tonight. Come on. Both teams are hot right now. Sharks have won 3 straight. Golden Knights have won 3 in a row here as well. The Golden Knights beat Winnipeg, Columbus, and St. Louis. San Jose beat Columbus. They beat the Kings, and they beat Dallas. Man, come on. Sharks are playing well. Still playing well. Although, this is probably the right spot for Vegas. I just don't think I can stand the price here on a man. It feels like this should be a Vegas spot. Anyways, both teams kind of trending over here right now. You got Vegas 20-16 to the over as a favorite. San Jose 24-19 to the over as a dog coming in here right now. For Vegas, they've lost 8 of their last 12 coming in. They have won 10 straight meetings against the San Jose Sharks, but Sharks have won 6 of their last 7 coming in. 5 of the last 6 meetings between the two teams have gone over. San Jose's gone over in 8 of their last 9 at home and 8 straight games overall. Vegas has gone over in 8 of their last 11 and 4 of their last 5 on the road. You know, I got to take the over here in this one between the Golden Knights and the Sharks. We got to have a total somewhere on this card. All right, I think that's going to do it. We'll get your comments and wrap up this show. Thank you, everybody, for sticking with me here tonight. We got 5 dozen of you in here still willing to put up with me. Greg says 4-3 Sharks. Andre says Sharks money line. They're getting disrespected, and Knight isn't that good. I think I actually have
Major line move.
Oh, you're talking about when they played the Blackhawks there. Timmy on the over there. And also, let's see, Timothy Hawk is on the over with me as well. And Greg says maybe Shark's going to get him tonight. All right, everyone, that's going to do it. I got to quickly move on. I mean, we've been here a while. Don't want to take up too much of Tony's airwaves, although we love getting on here and talking sports and sports betting with you and
Major
promoting our
alignment.
website, Tony'sPicks.com, where you get our premium picks every day over at Tony's Picks. You know, you see me on some other streams, some other channels, but just know that my best picks are over here every day at Tony's Picks. You see a little bit of a roll that I'm on a little bit of a roll here right now. We got to get on a roll. That's what we need to do. Got 4 winners in a row there, including 2 today, and we had some winners here this week. So check me out over at Tony'sPicks.com. Why not roll with me here through the next couple of days and check me out with the 3-day pass? You see some of my records over the last 7 days: 4-1 in the NFL, 4-1 in the NBA, a soccer win there as well, college football win. We got the big games coming up. And so you might as well check me out on the 3-day pass, man. Come on. Why wouldn't you? Here I'm putting forward some winners here so far. A little slow start to the year, but I think we've won in the major sports here a little bit, and getting ready to roll with the tennis action as well here. Just watched some finals just here while we were watching the show. I just saw Medvedev here just win a tournament. We get all the tournament finals just kind of came through here now. We just saw Medvedev here just win in Brisbane. Bublik just won in Hong Kong. Sabalenka was wrapping up a win when we started the show. So I love to play my best tennis
Major
plays over
alignment.
here at Tony's Picks. And the one thing when you get my tennis plays here, you know, you're not going to get any $2 favorites from me. I only play the closest matches over here at Tony's Picks, and it's proven. I've been a strong tennis winner on this site over the years. So check me
Major
out over at
alignment.
Tony'sPicks.com. Use the promo code TonyT at checkout. Save 15%. I want to thank everybody again in the chat. We had a great time, and man, can the football games get any better tomorrow? We'll see. But man, let's roll. All right, check me out over at Tony's Picks. For Tony'sPicks.com and Night Moves, thanks so much, everybody. Be back with you here tomorrow on Night Moves. Take a look at the action for Monday night, including that Monday night playoff game on Night Moves. For Tony'sPicks.com, I'm Ramon Scott. So long.
Final.